This is Albert Orange, and welcome to the Bell the Before podcast with yours truly, Albert Orange. And this is going to be the 32nd episode of the show, I believe. I barely keep track anymore. Yeah, but I believe this is the 31st episode. And by the way, 32nd episode. God damn it. I believe this is the 32nd episode. And by the way, I would like to just give a quick shout out to Jared, who I interviewed. Well, I didn't really interview him so much as I just reacted to a bunch of stuff with him. But he appeared on the episode last week, so if you haven't listened to that, go check it out. We reviewed all the Super Bowl commercials. Well, not all of them, but a good chunk of them we reviewed. So if you and it's all part of a special commercial review that lasted 2 hours long. So go check that out if you could possibly. I don't know how you would be, but if you're possibly interested in checking that out, please do so. It'll mean a lot. It'll give some justification as to why I should be doing this, as to why I should keep going. Can you hear that car parking in my driveway right now? Might be the neighbors just trying to reverse park. But anyways, yeah, this is I intend this episode to be a bit shorter than usual, and by that I mean maybe half an hour, 45 minutes maybe. If you haven't already noticed the title of this episode, I just want to talk about how Putin could possibly, maybe, be a little sus, if you know what I mean. Putin, as in Vladimir Putin, who, just by pure coincidence, is just trending right now. I have no idea why. Maybe current world events. I don't know, invasions. I don't know. Who knows? Am I right? But I just want to talk about Putin and only Putin, okay? And this is a topic that I wanted to discuss for so long, and that's a lie. And I just wanted to theorize and ponder and, just how sus is Putin really? How sus is he? So this is going to be a bit of a lecture, if you will. I don't know if you ever gone to college, but an academic like me will often be familiar with the lecture. It's a form of teaching, of indoctrinating, maybe punishment. But just take this lecture as a form of education. All right? With that, we're going to talk about why Putin could maybe, just maybe, be a little sus. So, before we get to, and by the way, you can call me Professor Orange if that helps. If that helps you pay attention. Before we get to answering, is Putin sus? Which you'll find could be a very short answer. A shorter answer than you expect it to be. You first have to establish justification as to why we should question if Putin is sus. Okay, so we have to question our questioning first in order to answer a question, and you'll find that our justifications to questioning Putin's susness, some might call it his suscity, you might find that those justifications might very well be the exact same justifications that prove Putin's significance, that is, his susness. You'll see what I mean. Now, so let's try to establish justification here, and we're just gonna move on to Exhibit A, which is shirtless horseback riding Putin. I'm sure if you're at all familiar with Vladimir Putin, that you've seen the images, the photographs of him shirtless, riding a horse, and some fucking khaki cargo pants and boots. Which is, they those photographs have been used for all sorts of things: criticism, memes, just humor, really. Because it's not every day that a world leader such as Putin will do such a thing. And it's a very provocative image, by the way. It's a very provocative image, and we're going to get to that, actually. Before pondering this question, I used to look at those images and say, that's a very funny image. That's just, you don't see that every day. Not every world leader does this. But now, if we take the question, is Putin sus? Well, you might find that we can look at these images in a different light. And by the way, feel free to just look up Putin shirtless on a horseback, and just use those images for reference, okay? As you listen to my voice. When we can, you know what? I'm gonna do that right now. That I just gave myself a great idea. And by the way, you might find a few images of him fishing, sitting on a chair on a lake. So, if you can find those images as well, that could be very helpful. But for now, I'm just gonna put Vladimir Putin horse. Okay, why not just shirtless? Maybe that can help me. All right. Here we go. So using these images for reference, when we ask if Vladimir Putin is sus, and we use these images for reference, I don't know about you, I can't help but question his susness. Not only his susness, but the reasons why he let these images get released in the first place. Think about it, okay? Vladimir Putin. Who is Vladimir Putin? Okay? He's the president of Russia. He's the commander-in-chief of the Russian military. That much has been made very clear. What else? His net worth is, I looked it up on Google, and it might be 200 billion, which is crazy. That's insane. He looks like he seems like a very self-made man, a man of wealth and dignity and honor. Pretty much, what every guy wants to be. You know, who wouldn't want to be president of Russia? All right, who wouldn't want to have a life where you can get shirtless photographs of yourself riding a horse? Well, the question that I propose is, why would he want to let those photographs be released? If you think about it, Putin is being very provocative in these photographs. Not only is he showing what he can provide to the ladies, if you know what I mean. He's releasing those photographs to the entire world. Okay? So not only is he showing himself to the ladies, but also to men as well. Why would he let these photographs be released, if not to attract the essence of maybe another male counterpart? Now, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that's pretty sus. Exhibit B. The current invasion of the Ukraine. Now, all jokes aside, I acknowledge that is a very terrible situation, that what's going on currently as I speak in the Ukraine. Hopefully, by the time this episode comes out, everything will be resolved, but that doesn't look like it will be the case anytime soon. But I am purely just talking about Putin and the Russian military. And I know there's a lot of memes going around, lots of jokes being shared on the internet. I just want to make it clear that I am only going to be talking about the Russian military and Putin. Okay? With that being said, what happens when you invade another country? What happens? Let's just take this thought experiment real quickly, okay? Now, I am an American, okay? I've said that I live in the Pacific Northwest, which technically could have meant also, Vancouver and whatnot. But is it British Columbia? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, but I am an American, okay? If we take, just hypothetically speaking, if America were to invade Canada tomorrow, and we've got our soldiers lined up at the borders on multiple fronts. We got the Alaska border, we've got the Montana border, we got the fucking Toronto border, okay? And our troops start to advance, okay? And if on one or multiple fronts do our troops manage to penetrate the Canadian border, well, I just gave the word away. Okay? Not only did we invade Canada, not only do we advance through Canada, but we also penetrate them as well. What happens when you invade another country? You penetrate them. You penetrate all the way through them. Through each and every crevice of that land, you penetrate. You take those big muscles of yours and those boots on the ground, and you penetrate that sweet old Canada. All right? Or any country, for that matter. And, my friends, that is exactly what Russia, what Putin, what the Russian military is doing right now to Ukraine. They are penetrating them. look, you might be asking yourself, well, wait a second. I mean, how does this make Putin sus? Okay? You don't even know if penetration means the same thing in Russian as it does in English. Okay? Penetration doesn't need to be sexual in nature or sus for that matter. Okay? Well, allow me to present you with another thought experiment. You see, canceled comedian Louis C.K. once told a joke, and by the way, he has a show in Kiev right now. It might not be right now as I speak. It might have already happened. I have no idea. But he's performing in Kiev. So I wonder how that went. But anyways, yeah, it's the same one. Louis C.K. he had a joke where he imagined what would happen to a guy if from birth to adulthood, if he never once saw a woman. Okay, you threw him in a cage, you fed him, you bathed him. It all has to be done by male scientists and whatnot. Okay, so he has never seen a picture of a female. He has never seen a female in person. He has never even been breastfed. Assuming that this male is heterosexual. What would happen if by the time he reaches adulthood, you showed him a picture of a female? What would happen then? Assuming he was heterosexual, assuming that he has never before seen a woman in his entire life, what would happen if you showed him a picture of a woman? Louis C.K.'s theory is that this man would instantly start just pleasuring himself to that picture of a woman. Okay, that's the theory. That is the theory. And why is this theory correct? Or in reality, why does it feel correct? Because sex is a very intrinsic force in human nature. You know what I mean? We just know how to do it, We know what it is when we see it. We know what it is when we hear it. And we know just how to, just grab it by the balls and just do it, We know. We just know. We can't explain it. We just know. And the same thing can be applied to what's happening in the Ukraine right now, regardless of language, regardless if the Russians know what quote-unquote penetration means. Okay, the double meaning behind that word. Okay, the Russian military is currently just penetrating, just ramming themselves in the Ukraine. Okay? What about that? What about that? Screams not sus to you. I'm going to tell you right now that it all seems incredibly sus to me. So not only is Putin sus, but so is the Russian military. And any military, for that matter. Okay? We know it's penetration. We know penetration when we see it. Doesn't have to be sexual in nature. It can be fucking just a bunch of lines on a map. Putin is sus. That's our conclusion. Okay, Putin is sus because why would he post those shirtless photos of him if not for calling to other potential soulmates of the male sex? Okay, and Putin is sus because of what he is currently doing, what he is currently commanding his military to do. He is sus. He is sus, and sus is sus. And by the way, is anybody gonna bring up the fact that Vladimir Putin, our own Vlad, was an ex-KGB agent? Are we just not gonna address that real quickly, okay? What did the game Among Us remind us of? Huh? A bunch of little guys in space on a spaceship, okay? And one of them is the imposter, aka the Russian, okay? And let's be honest. If any of those characters had races, the imposter is the Russians. Okay? Let's not kid ourselves. Okay? That game was clearly inspired by the space race. Clearly inspired by the Cold War. Okay? And by the way, like, didn't they have that plot line in For All Mankind? You know, the show that I talked about way back when, that's currently available on Apple TV Plus. Like, didn't they have an entire episode where the Russians invaded the fucking base on the moon? Okay? Among Us is just a game. It's just another thing that reminds us that Russians are the ones who want to take us down. Okay? Not necessarily the Russian people. Okay, I just want to make that clear. But, you know, the Russian government is probably a safe bet. Okay? And Putin, him being an ex-KGB agent, okay? Hello, like, do you think he wouldn't have done the same thing? If anybody is an imposter in the table of world leaders, who do you think is more likely to be an imposter? Other than our boy Vlad. He's sus. I'm calling it right now. He's sus. Okay? And that concludes our lecture. Okay? We've established cause as to why we should question his susness using Exhibit A and Exhibit B, and, you know, our third little tidbit, the fact that he was an ex-KGB agent. I mean, if that's not cause for questioning his susness, I mean, I don't know what is, okay? So, overall, Putin, you're pretty fucking sus. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're real sus. You are looking real sus. Real sus, okay? Hey, this is Albert Orange coming at you from the inside of my own bedroom, a place where I don't think I've ever recorded out of before for this podcast. So that's the first. Now you're probably confused. You're probably saying, "Hey, why are you introducing yourself all over again? Like, what's going on, Albert? Like, why are you recording out of your bedroom?" It's because I'm editing this podcast, and well, that's a lie. I just got started editing this podcast. I recorded that segment where I gave a lecture about if Putin is sus or not on Saturday, and right now it's a Sunday, so the next day, literally, and I ended up recording another segment after that lecture, which it turned out to be less than I wasn't too satisfied with it. Let's just say that. I was very poorly prepared for that segment, and I'm probably gonna end up scrapping the whole idea altogether. So yeah, just wanted to come in and just explain myself instead of just abruptly ending the episode right then and there. I'll see you next week. I hope you have a good week. And hey, regardless of how you feel about all this Ukraine invasion things that are going on, well, I don't wanna. I don't think it's that political of a topic, because I mean, it doesn't concern Americans, surely, right? That's probably the understatement of the century. I can't help but root for the Ukrainians, man. Honestly, and their president is right there in the trenches. I don't know if he's actually picking up weapons and fighting alongside with his soldiers. I don't know. I don't know if that's actually happening. But hey, I mean, if it goes to that point, then you can't help but respect the guy. That's what I think, at least. That guy used to be a comedian, by the way. He used to be a comedian. He used to be in a comedy group, and they posted posted. They had a sketch aired. You could tell I'm a fucking Gen Z or a millennial by saying posted. And no, look at that. That's the vents in my bedroom. Can you hear those? Oh, just really annoying. They had a sketch aired on Ukrainian television that got really popular, and he actually played the role of a president, and that made him so popular that he was eventually elected president, because his comedy group, after that sketch aired, was like, "Hey, we got our sketch and it got so popular. Why don't we start a political party? That makes the most sense right now, to go from a comedy group to a political party, and we'll nominate this guy who played a president so he can do the thing in real life." And that's what they did, and he won in 2018. So that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting story from Vladimir Zelensky. And lots of interesting stories from that place going on. I'm sure some of you might have seen that story or that video of like that woman, and her like middle-aged woman going up to that Russian soldier, giving him a packet of seeds, and saying, "Get out of here. You're not welcomed here." take those seeds with you, so when you die, they can grow on Ukrainian land. I mean, the balls of these people. Like, I know there's a lot of people, fleeing that place, but all those people hiding in those metro stations and taking up arms and stuff. It reminds me of it actually just reminded me of those Londoners, back in World War II, who would just go right into the air raid bunkers, and they would just, instead of just like, cowering, I guess, they would just lounge around, and they would just, old ladies would be knitting, and guys would be reading the newspaper. Anyways, that's gonna be my commentary for that situation. But what do you think? Leave a comment down below in the video, or email me, lastpodcast007@gmail.com. DM me on Twitter at BTBpod21. I would love to hear your uneducated opinion. Or maybe it's educated. I don't know. Maybe you've actually done some research on this. Let me know what you think. And that's going to be the end of this episode. I know this is pretty weird and abnormal. A pretty weird and abnormal way to end a podcast episode like this. To go from pondering the question if Vladimir Putin is gay, sus. Or maybe he could be both. I don't know. Oh, the vent stopped. And then to go from that to, hey, what do you think about this Ukraine thing? I can understand why that's weird as well. Leave a comment down below to let me know how you feel about how this episode went. Maybe that could be a good idea. Can you hear my stomach growling? It's because I haven't eaten yet. Because I just woke up. And it's 12:08 on a Sunday. I should really get my... this is exactly why I don't feel that I'm doing enough for this podcast. It's because my sleep schedule is so fucked up, and it's so weird, and I should really get my shit together. Anyways, that's gonna be it for episode 32, I believe, of the Belled Up Before podcast. Thank you for listening, and as the I have my language list, I just can't find the fucking... As the Estonians say, Negamist.